Um, so today I had turned on this video, and it was something about the Luciferian agenda. And so in this thing that they were explaining, the history of where it went back and where it started from, and that it was this, I'm not sure because I didn't do all the research, so you can go back and research where it started and why and all of that stuff. But the thing that gets me is it keeps kind of like getting linked in with New Age movement. And the New Age movement is nothing to do with Luciferian agenda at all. And, the New Age movement is another label. It's all just labels, labels, labels. Everything has to be labeled, defined, put in a box. It's like, come on. But so, when New Age is talking about, this God particle inside of yourself, this energy, it is, Stella, it is also, in the Luciferian one, it's about self. It's about propelling self. It's about what can you trade, soul wise, so that you can have this great life. You don't need to try and make a great life. You can just sell your soul, and then this Lucifer will provide it, because we are in, basically we live in hell. We live in a place where all these energies are available. So the Luciferian, Jesus, all of them are energies. They're all just energies that people are focused on. And if you are pulling from that energy, you've given that energy faith, you've given it your devotion, whatever, you're pulling from that energy has its own agenda, say. So, if you are pulling from this Luciferian energy to gain for self and to discount others, and there's a lot of other stuff that's, super corrupt about it. And I don't know why or how it keeps getting so linked with New Age movement. Because, like I said before, I don't know if you remember me talking about that lady who wanted to be my friend, right? And she was the doll maker, and she wanted me to see her dolls. So I was walking over to go see her dolls. And, I went in, I talked to her, and I could, her and her husband were very, they've been studying the Bible. The Bible is the be all, end all of all things, all beliefs. It's the Bible. That'd be great if the Bible wasn't manipulated. It's like everything is manipulated, people. You have to go. You have to make your own personal connection. You can't go through somebody else's stuff. So she, they're giving me this, they're low down on their studies and stuff, and I said some of the stuff I believe. And, I always get labeled as this New Age kind of kook. If you believe in aliens and you believe in reincarnation and stuff, then you obviously are just a nut. Whereas I look at it, if you don't, you are a closed off, you are the nut. And you're so in there, it's got to take a fucking giant thing to open you up to what's out there, and just stay in your little shell. But anyway, so she had decided, because of my tattoos, she sent me this in an email. She didn't say it to me to my face. She sent it in a message, how much she really wanted to be my friend, and, that I could come over and her husband would pray these demons out of me, because these are, these tattoos aren't just pictures on my skin. These are actual demons that have gone inside of me. Some of the people believe in such nutty, kind of weird shit. I don't even You know, I don't know. Is the Bible just brainwashing people too? Apparently. So, anyways, in the spiritual community, which, you know, that gets labeled New Age, it's just so stupid, so fucking stupid. So, you know, we would believe. I'm not saying every single one. I don't know what every single person believes. I'm talking about the group that believes like me. So I'm calling them we instead of just me, because there is other people who believe like I believe. And so you're, you know, it's all energy. You focus your energy and you draw from what energy that you align with. And your alignment can change, you know, throughout lifetimes, because you learn and you expand as an energy, as a soul being. But in the present, in the here and now, this is who you are. This is the experience you are having. So when you connect, so because for a spiritual person, it is about how to become more connected. How can I get more connected? How can I be more true to myself? How can I live a life that is fulfilling and of purpose? And that is the spiritual person's desire to feel more connected, to understand the universe, to understand the connection between one another and stuff, you know? And, you know, as far as I understand it, you know, this three-dimensional thinking of that there's this being up there that is controlling everything, that, you know, he's got this vendetta with Lucifer, like these two guys just don't like each other. And, you know, they're fighting it out through human beings because they've got no other way to do it. And so this is fighting out these two people. But it isn't two individuals, it's energies. It is, you know, that is where you get, like, you connect to your energy. You feel your connection. You know your connection. You feel it. You get your insights. You have an understanding. And then it's about trust and faith. You know, can I trust this? You know, and it's about discernment and protecting your own soul, recognizing danger and stuff. You know, it gets more complex. But the source energy, the God source, the God spark, the entire thing of the energy that I think that most of us want to draw from, this good, positive energy, you know, that we would think of as God's source, that energy is, it's also in you. It's a part of you. That's how we are a part of God. Because like I talked about before, that in the energetic realm, you think of God as energy. I mean, so vast and so big, but not a person. You know, that is this three-dimensional thinking kind of thing. It's not a person, it's an energetic source. And, you know, it's huge. Like, I think about, like, the never-ending story, in that I think that has a good thing, because the dark and the light. And, you know, when the people, I think it was when they lost their creativity or something, and the darkness began to take over, and then, you know, the Savior has to come in and bring the light, or whatever, however it went, I can't remember. But it talks about the dark and the light in this. That's the battle. It's not to, you know, a guy over here with red skin and horns, and then the guy over here with a long beard and a robe, and the guy over here, you know, if you don't do everything that he wants, he'll just, you know, let you and your whole family starve to death if you don't claim him as your God, right? It's like, then how is he better than that one? I mean, is that logical? Like, you have to go beyond these manufactured stories, these paradigms that have been built up. Like, religion is a huge paradigm that has been built up to control. And so, as a spiritual being, when you connect to source, you are connecting to self, because we are God experiencing itself. That is how powerful God is. It's not just one being. He's shattered out into all of us. We all. And if you are, really focused on evil, and that's, you're drawing your energy, you can fill your energy up with evil. You can shut out the light, just like in the never-ending story. You can shut it out. You can focus on evil. You think that's going to be, what's going to get you somewhere, or those are the experiences you want to have. I mean, fuck, it's infinity. There's a place for evil. Everywhere there seems to be some place where evil can come in. We're moving out of that energy now on this planet. And, that energy is going to, well, it's being exposed. It's being, seeping out like fucking pus. And it's being exposed and dried up. And so, this is going to be all about trying to find that connection. But that connection is being kind of dirtied right now, because they're kind of, linking it to this Luciferian agenda, when it's totally two separate things. You don't have to worship this guy in a robe who's standing up there with a beard, who's demanding, all of this stuff from you. You have to look past that. That is an illusion that has been built to control you. Once you can get past that and you start seeing this energetic field, like I was talking about with that movie, right? And the energies that are around us. It was so cool in this movie, because to me, it was kind of a representation. And like, I could watch how I see things. And, all of this aura and stuff that was going around him, these different things coming and stuff. And, it was like he could manifest his memories into being real. It was like you had, when somebody was walking, all of this that was going behind him, all of these lights and movement and aura and stuff that was going behind him had other things in it, like your ancestry, and that is what I had been talking about, a few weeks ago, remember, about the your ancestral link, your legacy, the karmic energy that you leave behind, and how it's all linked. Well, it was showing how, somebody who lived 200 years ago, who's in your ancestral line, is still attached to you. They're still working behind you, trying to get you to right their wrongs. We all are here on mission. It's not just, some of us have a mission to bring in enlightenment, love, another thing to think about, just a little God spark, just plant seeds, but everybody has something they're here for. And you have a group of people who are there helping you. You just have to tune in to know it. But they're all there. Everybody has somebody with them all the time. You're never alone, no matter how lonely and how alone you feel. And sometimes you can feel so lonely and alone because it's almost sad. Like you can feel this feeling around you, but you can't grasp it. You can't hold on to it. You can't give it a hug. You can talk to it, and then in these crazy illusionary paradigms that has been created, then we begin to feel like, oh, we're crazy. I still have this thing where it's been going on like a week, where I feel like spit is about to just fly out of my mouth. So if it does, I don't know. Maybe I'm got more neurological problems coming. Who knows? Whatever it is, I'll get through it, Even if I become somebody who just sits and talks and drools, I guess I'll get through it. I'll draw in people that can accept me for who I am and love me through my drool. So anyways, it is, the more that you can connect to this energy, the more that you can realize that it's all inside of you, that it is kind of like, like you have two barrettes or something, and you have one in your hair, and there's one out there, it's like two things that belong together, and then you can connect them, though. I don't know if that even makes sense about the barrettes, but it is two things that connect. And when you put in the effort to connect your soul, your own energy, your own abilities, your own source of energy, which is your soul, the more you can connect that, then the more you find peace, the more you find this this inner knowing and this feeling of just peace, the feeling of just everything is okay. There's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to fear. Fear is a manufactured thing to control people, and it's all an illusion. And because we have nothing to fear. We are powerful beings. We are here having an experience. This is not your only experience that you will ever have. There is not somebody who is sitting up there with a tally card, writing down everything that you do bad. That's all logged in you. Like I said, when I had come out of my body, I was still thinking. I didn't have a brain. I was outside of that. The brain was still in the body. And so when I was outside of it, I was still thinking. I was still my entire self. So I carry my memories and stuff. It's not left behind in your body. It's not left behind in your brain. Everything that you experience is what is creating you to be more of who you want to be, because you pick your experiences. So you are your own self-creation. And this morning I was also, this thing caught my eye. It was this girl, I don't know, Asian, I'm not sure which, country, but she was doing makeup. Mind you, this is just some young girl on YouTube doing makeup. She turned herself into all these different people. She was Taylor Swift. She was Johnny Depp. She was, what is that? There's that blonde, that girl in superhero movies, a bad one with the ponytail things and with the white hair. She turned herself into that. She turned herself into a bunch of different people. Looked exactly like them. That is the illusionary world we're living in. It just, exposes itself all the time. This is some girl on YouTube. Well, what do you think? If you have all the money in the world, if you're a billionaire, you have all of the everything, you can make anything look like anything you want. We've got people who aren't, they're selling us that they're a certain person, but really it's just a person in makeup. It's not really this person. And, that is all being exposed to. That's just part of this whole illusion. It's all an illusion. And it's all meant to control and take over your soul, which is the main energy. That's how important your soul is because you have beings that are far advanced from you who've not only been using it, they want to take it over completely. They want you to give it to them. That is this whole transhumanism agenda bullshit thing, They want They want your soul. And I saw a movie the other day. Oh, it was that one. I don't remember if I talked about it. I think I did talk about it. And then that was the one I didn't finish, and that had a twist at the end that I found super interesting. But it was that one, what was it called? Where the guy, he got that implant. I thought it was called Stan, but it was called STEM. And it was like a stem cell or something, but you put it in there and he wasn't paralyzed anymore. Upgrade. I think it was called Upgrade. And, because I was talking about that is what it sounds like to me when the voices in the head, because they were having it in that movie. Only this one was a computer talking in his head. But then, so they were selling this whole transhumanism, makes you into this superior being. You're smarter, you're faster, you're a bionic person and stuff. But, I won't say what ends up happening, but, things aren't always what they're cracked up. And, what they're selling isn't always what you end up with. It's a bunch of fucking car salesmen. And that is just, that's just so true about so many things. What they're selling it's all an illusion. It's all just fake. None of it is real. And, the more you hold on to these things, the more they're going to hurt as they're ripping out of your hands, because those are the paradigms you have built your life upon. Those are how you've structured, how you see yourself. And they're all going to be ripped away. It is almost like the bearing of the soul to the soul, as if all of your outside is being taken off. So you have to see yourself. Like there will be no choice. Yourself will be exposed to you. That's happening for everybody, but it's going to happen on a grand scale because, there's so many people who don't even know they have a soul. They just don't even, I don't understand it, because I've always felt mine were always, I've always heard him talking to me. It was only for that set period of time where now I have the understanding. I was in this phase of learning and experience to get me to this phase that I'm at right now of understanding pain and how to heal some of the things that we go through. And never fails. I always forget what I'm talking about, but it will pop back in somewhere probably. And there was another thing too that I had been thinking about that I wanted to talk about. This is something else I was thinking about this morning. And it is weird because when you think about it, when you have been healing and you've transformed yourself, you are a completely different person than you were 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? You're always growing, you're always changing. And so whoever you were at 17, you're not going to be the same person at 37, unless I guess if you're strung out on drugs and you don't spend a day growing in your life and you just spend it in a coma. But a normal person is having experiences, and I'm not saying that a drug addict's not normal. Just got to throw that out there. I'm just saying it's a choice. And even if you are working against your own biology, you still make a choice to not be present, to not do the best you can for yourself, to not try and achieve when you have obstacles, It's a choice. Just, it is. And that's one thing I hear David Rodriguez talk about all the time when I listen to his thing, because his stuff pops up all the time for me, is his struggles with the alcoholism, and it is for somebody who struggles with that, it is like a daily struggle, And a lot of people can't endure it, and they just throw in the towel. Because why? But when you do endure it, you find so much growth in yourself. And he talks about that a lot. So, but the thing is so when you're growing, then you're not the same person. But somebody who knew you then is still holding on to that person you were to them at that time. Whatever, experience that had to happen, or whatever you were contracted to do in each other's lives, or whatever. And so they will still be holding on to that if they haven't healed and grown, right? And it's weird when you think about it, because it is like how in time travel movies that, like the old you or the you that's traveling can't run into the you that's there and stuff like that. And really, there is these different yous that are on the planet at the same time, because each you to each person has been a totally different experience. You've been a totally different you to each one of them. And there's people who hold on to those experiences, whatever it is, if they're learning how to let go of things, if they are learning what resentment feels like. Because some things you go through the whole experience and you don't know the end until you die and you go through your review. Then you get to experience it and see it in such a much broader perspective. So it has a lot of impact on your soul, That's who's judging you, not the guy up there in the fucking robes. He's not judging you. He's a combination of us all. We make him what he is because we are him and he is us. We are parts of him. He has a whole. When we are all together, we are the whole. And the more that we are of light, then the more that energy, I don't know. It's probably, how energy creates planets and stuff, because there's this constant souls and energy and movement and, the whole everything, the whole cosmos is all fluid. It's all moving. It's all energy and frequency and color, and it's all just moving all the time. But you have these other yous that are here right now. And it's just weird how somebody can hold on to this old you and not even know the new you at all, not even see you for who you are, not even recognize. When they look at you, all they see is this old you. They don't see the new you. It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating how this kind of goes in with time travel in my mind. I don't know what it does in yours, but in mine, I see it kind of being the same as, is you go into these certain times and have these experiences. And, if you were to come in and go back into time, like I had talked about before, would you try and fix what was wrong, or would you go for a whole new experience? What would you do if you could? Because I got that out of that Peggy Sue Got Married movie. I just, when I started watching that, I was just like, oh my gosh, what would you do if you could go back in any of these time slots? What would you do? And it probably has to do with, how you've seen the relationship play out. Like there's so many different ways. Like you could Groundhog Day some experiences, and just play them out in about a zillion different ways. Just go back, relive it, go back, relive it, go back, relive it, over and over and over. And keep trying different things till you get it right. Is there a right? Is there a wrong? Or is it just experience, learning, understanding, growing? You know, just like what I was talking about yesterday when I took that little video and I held the thing wrong and it was driving me crazy. It's like, why am I letting this drive me crazy? It happened organically. It happened the way it was supposed to happen. Why would I try and fight that? Why would I try and change that? Why not just go with the moment? And it is the same thing as like with that Buddhist Bible, what I talk about with that story of them coming to the edge, and that Hiroshima had just gone, you know, and the son was wanting to rush, and the dad was just, you know, go with the flow. We will be where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there. And the son's, we got to go. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Well, if we would have done what the son wanted, we would all be dead right now. So, you know, I think that there's something important about going with the flow. And, you know, maybe the flow will lead to you dying, but that was your exit, you know, that was the exit stage right. That's what was supposed to happen. You know, this ridiculous fear of germs and what may get us and stuff like that. Something has to get you. I mean, be logical. And if you're so scared of dying because of what? You haven't accomplished something, then work on it. Because you have strained relationships, well, work on them. You know, that is, that little unknowing, that little fear trigger, you know, that could come at any time, should keep us focused on what is important, how to direct our energy for healing and for our best. You know, I keep hearing about experience, but, you know, it's also about enjoying our experience, not getting so hung up on some stuff, you know. Like if you have hurt somebody, then, you know, you can apologize and stuff, but you can't just hate yourself because you've hurt somebody before. We've all hurt somebody. That is just the human experience, is to hurt people. So, you know, you get to see what that experience was, you know, and it could be when you look back and you see, like I said, then you feel, you have more clarity because you can feel from different perspectives. Like you can see how you affected somebody. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to change, you know, who you are. I think it is a big drive to why a lot of souls just come right back in, because there's so many that, you know, they're so disappointed with themselves. It's not about God judging you. You are your harshest critic, no doubt about that. In every single way, in every single day of your life, you are your harshest critic. You don't need anybody else to ridicule you and put you down. You feel so bad about yourself just naturally. And that has all been done on purpose, you know, to keep us beaten down, to keep us where we would do what we're told, to make us be, what is that word? Comply, no matter what the request is, even if it's like, stop breathing, don't talk, shut up. Then, you know, that's compliance. That is somebody else telling you to shut up and stop breathing. And, okay, you know, if it's for my better, you know, it's for the better of mankind. I really don't know how to get people to see the controllers if you can't just start noticing things don't add up. You know, you got to just start seeing it. But, you know, you have to find this God spark in you. We all have it. God gave us all a little piece of himself. And you get to have that little piece, and you get to do whatever you want with it. And, you know, if you want to go this whole life and never, you know, find that joy and find that connection, and to always feel, you know, down about yourself, beaten down about, you know, from every experience in life, you know, that's your choice. You're not going to die and he's going to be standing there like, oh, you fucked up now. Give it back. You no longer get to exist. I'm recycling you. That's not what we're dealing with. And I think there's a lot of people who think on that level. Like, if I don't do this just right, you know, I'm done for. I'm in the bowels of hell for eternity, being burned. It's like, no, we're being burned right now. We're being burned. We're being lied to. We're being this trickery. This is what hell is. You know, I mean, we have people burning. We have horrible, tragic things happening all the time in this place. And this is that, find that connection to something that is more holy, that's more of the light, and focusing on that connection. It just draws you out of there. That it becomes a false reality. It becomes not real, because the more you focus on this, the more the light just starts to come around you. The darkness has no place, you know. And there was also, I keep having, I must be in the algorithm now, because now I keep having Jim Carrey's motivational stuff, all sorts of them, man, there's a lot. All sorts of things of him talking. And I like listening to him. I like his perspective, but I feel like, you know, it's similar to mine. So I do enjoy that, listening to him. But, you know, I hope that there's going to be more people who are going to be speaking out, because we've got to move out of this three-dimensional thinking. And it's so much different than what people think, because it is all the paradigms, all the structures, everything that they like. The whole thing with this, oh, well, this community is going to be vegan. You know, we're superior. We're better than y'all. You know, y'all are a bunch of weirdos. You want to eat meat, then we're going to go over here. We're going to just eat, you know, well, there's not going to be all this corporate food and shit. So, you know, I guess they're just going to have gardens and just grow some vegetables and eat raw, because that's one of the big movements in that. But so, and then you have these, you know, communities of hunters and gatherers, and, you know, they're going out and living off the land and stuff like that. You know, you have all these different ones. Well, you can't go into this thinking like our group is better than your group. We're smarter. We're more connected. We understand. You know, if you're not doing what we're doing, then you're wrong. That is how we get right back to where we are right now. It is the, I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you. That is all three-dimensional game playing bullshit. So any of these people who, you know, all these spiritual people, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and then you're going to do this. You know, if I'm coming across that way, I sure the hell hope not. All I'm ever trying to say is you have to find your answers in yourself. That there is healing out there. That we can share stories. That we can help each other. We can propel each other up, rather than constantly pulling each other down, trying to, you know, be better than someone else. You know, there is, we want, the better everyone else is, the better that we can become. And the more positive karmic energy imprint that we have left, you know. But it bothers me where there is this movement that is this like false idea of going more towards God, but is still creating so much division, because this isn't about division. It's about unity. It's about us coming together. It's about loving yourself, not judging one another. If you're going in to be a vegan because you feel like, you can judge others, then you need to reevaluate your diet, reevaluate everything about yourself, because this movement's not about being better or worse. That's the paradigm we're leaving. The Piscean age, the good and bad, we're going from dark to light now. We are this whole cosmic balancing is happening, and but the pendulum is swinging back, and when it swings back, we're going to be in a much more positive, get to experience. But cycles happen, and it will go back into another cycle at some point. But if we don't break free of all these different paradigms, then we will continue to fight with each other. If you can't go into something freely of like, I do this because this is where my guidance guides me, and how your guidance guides you that's between you and your guidance. It's not between anyone else. And we can't start building communities that want to war with other communities to try and, just go back in history. We can't just convince ourselves that we're better than someone else, because that's just not real. We are all equal ground. We all get the same piece of God. What you do with it, if you take your God spark and you turn it into a bonfire, or if you take it and you kind of trying to keep it down all the time, that's up to you. But we all get this God spark. We all get the same thing. Nobody's better than anyone else. And just because you're smart in this life doesn't mean you were smart in the last one. And it doesn't mean you're going to be smart in the next one. It is just this experience. So you can't get stuck in your head like, well, I'm better than you because I know this and I'm better, God's law is letting everyone learn it for themselves. If God wanted us all to be compliant, wouldn't he just open the skies and say, hey, do this. I said it. Do it. And people want to be like, oh, well, he did do that. The Bible. He left us the Bible. That is his word. Okay, I didn't see him write it. I didn't hear him. What is that when you you speak it into the thing and your secretary goes and types it up? I didn't hear any of that. So, I have heard that the person who was editing didn't have the same kind of mission as the guy writing it. So you got to keep that in mind. There's not just a book out there that's going to just, okay, do this, this, and this, and then you get to go and have a good life for eternity. That there's more work than that. You have to connect to find out what your work is, to understand yourself, and that is, that's all I can say. And I do find it fascinating, some of these movies I'm watching, how they are putting some of these things in movies. And it is, I think it's foreshadowing. It could have been that they were trying to use it as manipulation and indoctrination and to turn us against certain things. But I really see it as foreshadowing. I see we're all headed in this direction that's going to be so much better. I that's my hope for everyone. I really don't like the whole split, but I get it. There's souls that want to go and experience Armageddon and find their own strength, find their own warrior in a time of war. There's ones that want to experience that. So we can't shame them. We've all probably done it or will do it at some time. That is the soul's journey. And that's what we're on. And we're just here in this moment, being this person, in this experience, at this time. It's not who we are outside of this experience. So, love yourself, love this experience, get in touch with your own soul spark, your God connection, and, just enjoy your day. And that was my little frustrated lecture about the bullshit they're trying to. It's just to create like an interference, but a doubt, so that you won't be thinking like, oh, I have a piece of God in me. I'm a part of God. God is speaking to me. They want us to believe that that is that's nuts, and don't believe that, because they can label the shit out of everything. They can call us New Age. They can call us wacky quacks, whatever the fuck. I've heard so much bullshit. But I mean, it worked for me, and I found mine, and I'm connected. And even though I had to go through the time in the desert where I felt so isolated and so alone on my journey, and so depressed and so sad, but once I got through that, they're all standing there waiting, cheering you on. So even if you're in your darkest times right now and you feel completely alone, it gets me emotional. Just know you're not. You have a team, and they and they love you. So have a great day.